The idea behind Business at its Best is to give you useful information to put into practice in your company. There's no better way to learn than from those who have been there and done that. Today on Business Solutions, Dan Long with Price Associates leads Kevin Burleson from Champion Windows, from challenge to opportunity. Thank you both so much for being with us, Dan and Kevin. It's always good to see you, a familiar face and voice in the area. Let's first talk about the idea of challenges. I can only imagine that when you look at what's taken place with new construction in the market, and every house has to have windows, that there has to be some challenges that you're facing in the marketplace.
It's very interesting with Kevin, and I didn't realize this, but his business, they don't do new construction.
They don't.
They don't work with builders. I was surprised by that. They are a factory direct, and they are really in a retrofit business. Maybe you could explain your business first, and then we can talk about it.
Right, we're directly to the homeowner. So you get a better quality product and factory direct pricing. So like a lot of window manufacturers, they sell their products to distributors and wholesalers, and then on to remodelers and dealers. And what happens a lot is the price gets marked up, and then they, as a factory, they won't warranty the installation. So with Champion being factory direct, you get a factory direct pricing with an installation warranty that is unbeatable in the industry.
Yeah, and you know what, getting to his challenge now, so it's not the fact that building has slowed down, because that didn't affect you too much, right?
I think I just illustrated the challenge.
Absolutely.
It's the whole idea of educating a consumer on exactly what you have to offer.
Exactly. Yeah. So you know what, and that's probably been the biggest and the biggest improvement they made in their business, right? Is explaining your product a little bit more and educating your customer a little bit more.
That's right.
And they're doing more product shows, correct?
Home shows, open houses.
Open
we
houses.
have open house sale this month.
In fact, it's Saturday, isn't it?
It is, this Saturday and Sunday.
Right, right.
This weekend, so.
And you know what, the other day we talked about the good things about bad times, right? You have to rethink your product. You have to re-educate your customer about that. So some of the things we talked about is how can you get that message to your customer? If they're factory direct with their windows, how do they get their message factory direct, right from their showroom to the ears of their customers? And those are some of the things that we're working on in his business.
So what are some of the ways you're doing that? I mean, I know I hear and see the advertisements. You've been all over the Olympics in a variety of places with those messages.
And really, we get in front of our consumers across their kitchen table, and we do educate. And energy savings is one of the biggest problems that we're going to face here. In the next 5 to 10 years, you can expect energy costs to double.
Right.
So, saving your costs.
The nice thing is they have federal tax credits coming out.
Exactly.
And I don't think those are going away. I don't think the cost of energy is going any lower, and the federal tax credits are going to be more incentive. What's really interesting, he was telling me that any home that's 12 to 15 years old probably doesn't have very efficient windows. And by the time you get the federal tax credit in there, say you're going to stay in your home a little bit, and the rising cost of energy, your payoff's much quicker than it would have been several years ago.
So you have another education opportunity when
Absolutely.
you talk about this idea of the federal tax credits, because people hear that and I just see the eyes glaze over. And how do I navigate the complicated waters of attaining a federal tax credit to put windows in?
This tax credit was going to end December 31st of 2010. So, it's imperative. We don't see the government extending that right now at this point, and I hope they do. But right now, it's take advantage of that. $1,500 is 30% of the materials. So $1,500 is quite a bit of savings.
You have some savings. All right.
You bet.
Well, that wraps it up for this. We're about out of time. Kevin Burleson with Champion Windows and Dan Long with Price Associates. Every week we take a business, sit down, hear some of the challenges, identify the opportunities. With you, it is all about taking your customer through the education process about what you can deliver straight from the factory.
That's right.
All right. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much,
having
both
me.
of you.
You bet.
And when we come back, we are going to take a look at everything we've learned today, put it into 3 simple challenges for you, and take a look at the week ahead when Business at its Best continues.